All right, so number 45 was kind of an interesting problem that I like to assign because it shows some really good concepts. So you needed to draw a mechanism that accounted for both of the products shown. Remember that deuterium is just an isotope of hydrogen. So the first step of the mechanism would be to have the pi electrons forming a bond to the deuterium and the electrons in the deuterium-chlorine bond ending up as a lone pair on the chlorine. So there are two possible carbocation intermediates that can be formed from this first step. The deuterium can bond to that carbon, which should place a positive charge on the carbon that doesn't do the bonding, or the deuterium could bond to this carbon and the plus charge ends up on the carbon that doesn't do the bonding. Now, you can tell that this is the intermediate that's going to end up leading to the product because the product is shown. The first product is shown. So what that must mean is that this is more stable. But the question is, why is it more stable? If you consider hyperconjugation, this has one sp3 hybridized carbon directly bonded to the carbocation. This other possible intermediate has two sp3 hybridized carbons bonded to the carbocation. What that means is that this has more hyperconjugation. But we already said that the intermediate on the right was not the more stable intermediate. So there needs to be an answer other than hyperconjugation, which accounts for it being more stable. This intermediate on the left can be stabilized by delocalization, by resonance, because of the adjacent pi bond. So if I draw that resonance structure, that's what it looks like. In this intermediate over here, there are no possible additional resonance structures because the pi bond is too far away. By looking at this, you can also see how when I have my new nucleophile, Cl-, that can form a bond to that carbon, or it can form a bond to that carbon, and that accounts for both possible products. So remember, resonance usually is the most important effect. So resonance is more important than hyperconjugation.